Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. I've been playing Last Shelter for a little over a month now, and I hear a lot of people complaining about not having enough resources and wanting to attack everybody to get more resources. And I'm quite surprised because I don't have any problem with getting resources. I have plenty of them. I just do a lot of daily events and a lot of Clash of Zone events, and I get plenty of rewards from them. So I'm never stuck on not having enough resources. And so my alliance members, they asked me like, how do you do this? And I started explaining it to them. And then I thought, well, maybe more people can benefit from the tricks that I've learned in the last month. So that's why I decided to do this video. I will be discussing a couple of topics. For example, I will be discussing what research I think you should be focusing on in the beginning. Also, I will tell you why I do not fill my food truck and how I save on power and thus also on oil. Also, I will be telling you something about how to get the most out of the rewards from the daily events and the Clash of Zone events, and plenty of other stuff. So let's get started. So as you can see, my base is level 17, so I still have plenty to grow myself. I do think on average I've been growing rather quickly if I compare myself to other players who have not spent a lot of money. I have spent some money and I will share my thoughts on if you do spend a little bit of money, what to spend it on. But I think I spent about, I think it was 20 euros, maybe 30. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember which packages I did end up getting and which I did not. But we'll talk about more of that later. So, my advice on research. When you're completely new to the game, you need resources. So the first thing you do, focus on rapid production and city development. You need those resources. So upgrade your rapid production until you get at least the 100%, which means that every time you do a rapid production, at least once a day, it will be successful, guaranteed. And also just your normal city development. Increase those resource amounts that are getting produced. But then what I did, and which has benefited me a lot, I've neglected a lot of the other stuff, but I really focused on my APC. Like, the best way to get more troops into your APC and to get your APC as strong as possible is to get more heroes on them. So what I did, I neglected most of the other stuff and I made sure that I had at least one APC with 3 heroes on it. It took me a while, it cost me a lot of resources, but it was well worth it. I think I got my 3rd hero when I was base 14, maybe 15, but at that point I was able to join in Wendell level 10, level 15. I've been able to do bigger zombies to get more rewards. I've been able to gather for a longer period of time. I've been able to... I personally have not been attacking a lot of other players because I really didn't have to, but it did help me to get to the bigger zombies, to the bigger Wendells. So my personal opinion, make sure you get a 3rd hero really quickly. My biggest APC now is, I think, 73,000 troops with of level T6, so tier 6 units. And yeah, I'm a lot stronger than a lot of other players who have a similar level base. One more thing what's useful about having 3 heroes on your APC and thus having a very strong APC is that it can help you do some of the benefit rewards. For example, I don't think it's active right now, but like in the Doomsday benefit quest, whatever, at some point one of your assignments is like upgrade a hero to level 20, at least 20 levels. And of course you could like just spend your earned experience points on level 1 heroes. But that's quite of a pity because you can also save them for hero training day and get more points on the Clash of Zone events. So instead what I do, I just get one of the heroes of my APC, put a level 1 hero on there, attack a level 12, 11, 12 zombie, and it will jump up 8, 9 levels with just one zombie attack. So just keep it in mind, if you need to level up level 1 heroes to do anything, just stick them on a big APC, send them out to kill a zombie. Save those experience points for the days you actually need them. But then I had my big APC and I noticed that it was a lot slower than other players. So I was like, what am I missing? And then one of my alliance members gave me a brilliant tip that I really should be focusing on vehicle training and get this suspension system bigger as quickly as possible. Because he told me, and it's really true, if you have an APC with only vehicles and you have researched this, your APC is way faster. It's like 60% faster than it would normally be. So I've been doing this very recently and it's helped me a lot to get my APCs faster and to rally quicker, to attack quicker. So that was really useful. And if you get farther with the daily and Clash of Zone events, you might get to a point where you get the third box very often. And at that point, it will be very useful to be able to get more rewards and get more boxes. So I am working on that. I think it's the zone commemoration, right? Yeah, so if I get this advanced reward, I will get more of the boxes that I can open, but it needs a lot of courage medals, and so I'm a bit stuck on that. I'm not really sure how to get more courage medals or get them quicker at least, but working on it. So let me show you how I save on power. Now, credit should go where credit is due. I got this tip from another video here on YouTube, and I'll link that in the description. But let me summarize for you really quickly. I hardly ever run out of power. I use power a lot for alliance donations, and I have plenty of it. If I click my power production, you can see that my production is at 80k while my consumption is at 77k. And that is only by the free windmill. I hardly need to fill up my power stations to get enough power. Sometimes I've done a little bit too much of alliance donations, or I have very big upgrades that need a lot of power, and then I fill up the power stations, or when I want to do some rapid production, they need to be filled up a little bit, but then I fill them that I have enough for about half an hour. I do my rapid production and then I just let it run dry again. I have enough. So how do I do this? The trick is to not connect a lot of your buildings to the road. Any building that is not connected to the road does not consume power. So if I show you around my base, you can see that a lot of my buildings have these little road signs that they are not connected. And that's on purpose. I do not want them connected because a connected building consumes power. And you don't need to have a lot of them connected. Like there are a lot of these buildings right here, like the stuff to like design your base and your tower and well, some of the other stuff that you're not really doing a lot with. Just keep them off the road. You don't need them. Also, like your barracks and your institute, your military hall, your heroes hall, like all the buffs you get from them, they will work if they are not connected to the road. The only time you need them connected to the road is if you want to do some kind of interaction with it. For example, if I would initiate an upgrade, I would just connect my road. And now all this block is connected, right? So now if I, for example, would like to upgrade let's say my headquarters, now I can interact with it. Now I can say upgrade and start it. Now I can even go to like the details section and look into the power it will give me if I upgrade it and things like that. But once I'm done, once I have activated the upgrade, I just go and disconnect it again. The upgrade will continue. If it's finished, you will get your rewards. You do not have to reconnect it. Your APCs will have all the troops it has. Your hospital will have the full capacity. I have one hospital right next to my base, just like in the video that explained it to me, just for convenience, but all the other hospitals are down here and they are not connected, but I still have the hospital capacity of all of them. So you don't really need to do that. The only buildings that really do need to be connected are your resource buildings, your resource production buildings, and those buildings that store them. So I have all my production buildings connected, and I have the storage facilities connected, Of course, the base itself, it's like your base, right? So that's always connected. The windmill, but that's about it. Like even like the fighter training camps, I have them disconnected. And when I want to train some troops or when I want to collect some troops, then I connect it, do my thing, disconnect it again. If you do this consistently, you will be able to keep your power consumption below your power production from just the windmill. I already mentioned it at the beginning, but I do not fill my food truck like you see right here. The only moment I fill my food truck is if I need a minimum requirement of population to do an upgrade. Then I fill it a little bit, I wait until the population is to the max, then I initialize the upgrade, and once the food truck runs empty, I just don't fill it up again. There is a downside to not filling up the food truck, and that is that probably your money production will drop in efficiency. Like you see, it's at 69% right now, but I don't care. I have plenty of money. What I do instead of putting food and water on the food truck is I just sell the water on the chopper and I use the food to do the upgrades. So I'm not wasting food on the food truck. It's your population does not drop below about 70%. And once you fill it up, you get it to the max in about, depending on your level, in about an hour or so, probably less. So you get like 2 extra calls to the chopper every day, and the first time you start it up on a new game day, you also have a free chopper. So just use those, upgrade those, sell your water there, and get your money that way. Also, I get a lot of money from the daily and the Clash of Zone events, so I don't care about having less efficiency on my money. I have plenty of money. So now let's get into why I do not run out of resources, at least not yet. I probably will be when I get even bigger and when the upgrades get more expensive. But then again, if the upgrades get bigger, then the points I get in the daily and Clash of Zone events get bigger, and so I get more rewards from them as well. So I guess it's a little bit of a trade-off, and so far I have not had issues. But how do you optimize these daily events and these Clash of Zone events? And I have some tips on that as well. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I would give you some advice on what I think, if you want to spend money, what you should spend it on. And I think the most reward you will get is if you spend it on buying at least the first, but maybe also the second garage package. Get more of those construction vehicles to do more upgrades at the same time, and also therefore being able to plan those upgrades to end at the same time, therefore getting more points in the right hours. So the main thing on getting a lot of rewards in the daily events and in the Clash of Zone events is to plan them well. So you get your build, for example, your building points, right? If I go to the events, I'm not sure if this is a building hour, but yes it is. So increase 1 building power, 1,000 points. It took me a while to figure out what this actually meant, but what this means is if I go to my banks right now, I'm now upgrading 6 banks at the same time. So obviously I got 2 extra construction vehicles that I bought with actual money. But if you then go to the details and you go to more information, this is like the power of your buildings. And each time you upgrade, your power increases. So for example, at this time, the current upgrade on this building, I will get the difference between these two values. So 736 minus 535 is 201 power points times 1000. So that's 200,000 points I will get for this upgrade. Now, if you then go and look at this daily challenge, I will get the first box at 80,000 cave points, the second box at 580,000, and the third at 3,980,000. I do not get this third box very often. It's hard to do, it's hard to get this much points in the same hour at the same time when you're this early in the game. I'm pretty sure it will get easier once you get bigger, because then the upgrades will be more power and therefore also you will get more points. But in the beginning, it's very hard to get to this third box on the daily. But it's not that hard to get to the second box on the daily. If I do 3 of these banks and I make sure they finish in the right hour at the same time, I'm at 60,000K. I get a second box. I do these 2 boxes at least 5 to 6 times a day. And in the first box, I get 1,000 diamonds and a lot of resources. On the second box, I get 400 diamonds and a lot of resources. So if I do this 5-6 times a day, I get a lot of resources from this. But how do you know which events you get in which hour, right? So there's a website, I think it's appgamer.com or something. If you Google for Last Shelter daily event schedule, you will get to this page from this website, which has an overview on the schedule of these daily events. For each day of the week, it will tell you in which hour you will get what type of daily challenge. I have realized that this schedule is not 100% accurate, but it is pretty accurate. I have found some mistakes, which I will not be able to tell you really quickly because I have like my own overview somewhere, but I think it's like 95% accurate probably. So I've drawn up the schedule on my iPhone and I just wanted to show it to you real quickly. So this is appgamer.com and this is the overview. So on Monday, you get these different daily events. On Tuesday, you get these, etc., etc. And now, as you notice, these run in blocks of 8 different hours. So there are 8 different ways to get points, and this repeats twice more during the day. The 0 hour is the first hour of the game day. So when the Clash of Zone event day changes, then also the 0th hour starts. Now keep in mind the first half hour of a new day is not active for any points. So make sure if you want to finish something in that first hour, do it in the second half of the hour. But like you can see, like here at the 0 hour on Monday, you get points for building and building speed ups. On the first hour, you get just points for building. In the third hour, you get points for using training speed ups, etc., etc., etc. Now, if you know this, you will be able to plan when to finish buildings very well to get the most boxes. One more thing about these, one more tip about these different types of daily challenges. If you get the combination of building and building speed ups or research and research speed ups, I find those hours not the best to do it because the minimum requirement to get one of the boxes is a lot higher. So even though you can use the right speed ups for the right buildings, I generally think it's probably better to use those building speed ups in other building hours, even though you do not get points for them, but the reward level is way lower, so you get the box with less points. So now that we know from the schedule in which hour we will get points for which type of activities, we can start planning these activities. We can start planning when certain buildings will finish, or when the research will finish, or when troop training will finish. And you can make sure that you get the most points from them. So let me give you an example. Earlier in the day, I had not much time to plan. I saw that I could upgrade 6 banks. They were all at the same level, and I just started them all. Now, a couple of hours later, I had the time to plan, and I looked at them, and then I noticed, like you can see, they will finish in 49 hours, so they will finish in the next daily event. But I know from the schedule, the next daily event, I will only get points for speed up items. So that's not good for me. I need to do something with these to make sure I get these points. If I don't, they will finish, I get no points. Tough luck. So what are my options? Of course, I can speed them all up, right? I speed them all up, finish them in this hour, because like you can see, in this hour, I will get points for building power. I also showed you before that each of these building upgrades is worth 200,000 points. Now, the third box is 3.9 million. 6 times 200,000 is 1.2 million. I will not get 3 boxes. It's just not possible. But I can speed them up to finish all in this hour, and then I get 1.2 million and I get the second box, which is fine, right? But in fact, it is possible to get 2 times the first 2 boxes for these. And I'll tell you how. By the end of this hour, which will be in like 10 minutes probably, I will speed 3 of these up to finish in this hour. 600,000 points, 580 for the second box. I will collect them. Then, before the other 3 buildings finish in the next hour, I will close the application. I will log out. Because the trick here is that you will not get the points at the moment the buildings finish. You get the points when the buildings finish and you are logged in. So what this means is if I log out right before the buildings finish and not log in until an hour has started in which I do get points for the building, I will get the points in that hour and still get 2 boxes. So next hour I will get points for speed up items. The hour after that I will get points for building power. So I will speed up 3 of these at the end of this hour, collect the 2 boxes right now, and then before the other 3 finish, I log out and I wait until the hour after that has started, 5 minutes after, so that I know the daily event has started. Then I log in and voila, points and 2 more boxes. I'll make some screen recordings of that in the next hour and I will show that right now. So here we go. I have about 5 minutes left until the end of the hour. I have no points yet. I go to my construction vehicle and I speed these up. Like you can see, I have a lot of speed ups. I'm a bit of a hoarder, but I'll talk to you about that later as well. I'm just going to speed up 3 of these to make sure they finish right now. Boom, boom, and boom. Daily challenge. Still waiting for the last one, and there it is, 600,000 and lots of rewards and resources. Very nice. So here we are 2 hours later. I have no clue why my phone says it's 9:41 because that's not true. I think it's some issue with connecting to the iMac and using the QuickTime player, but it's actually 10 past midnight. I did the recording where I finished the first 3 bank buildings over 2 hours ago. I then confirmed the next hour. Indeed, I only would get points for the use of any speed up items. I did record that, but somehow I lost that recording. So I cannot show that to you, but I logged out before the buildings were finished. So if I open the app now and I log in, I should get the points for these buildings right now. So let's do that. So I'm opening it. It's logging me in. And boom, there it is. Daily challenge, 603k points. Over half an hour, 45 minutes later than they were actually supposed to finish. When you plan the building upgrades and the research and everything else, please keep in mind the reduction in time due to Alliance help. Like for me now, the reduction can be like almost 15 minutes probably. So if I do not take that into account, I might miscalculate and it will finish in the wrong hour. So please keep in mind on that. Also, I have not been able to confirm definitively if the not get the points until you're logged in trick works for research as well. I think it does, but I'm not 100% sure. For what it does work is for training troops as well. So, for example, as you might have noticed before, these buildings are done with training their troops. They have like the nice blue shimmer, but I will not collect these troops yet because you get the points when you collect them. So I don't need a lot of more troops. I have plenty right now for my APCs. Also, like troop consumption consumption is right at the edge of what I'm producing, so I don't really want more troops. But they do give me points and does also give me like these daily event boxes. So what I do is I just start training whenever, and when they're finished, I'm just leaving them alone. Whenever an hour starts where I do get points for training troops, I just connect the road, pop these training bubbles, collect the points. We'll probably do, like with some training speed ups, do 2 or 3, 4 more rounds to get to that second box if I have no building upgrades planned in that hour, because it's usually paired up with either building or research. But I'm not going to do it right now because, well, I don't get points for it now, so why should I collect them, right? So you get the points when you collect the troops. So I think a lot of optimizing the rewards from the Clash of Zone events, and actually the daily events as well, is basically about patience, not using what you get as rewards too quickly, and also use common sense, right? Like I mentioned before that I probably save up on the speed ups a bit too much. I should maybe be spending them more. But like 1 or 2 weeks ago, I was like, I often did not have enough of them. So I'm a bit scared to spend them now, but I should probably be doing that. But if, for example, let's say I have 2.8 million points in an hour, but not more than that. If I have the speed ups and the resources to just push through like a big building and get 1 point something extra million points, then I can push through to that third box, which will give me a lot of rewards, right? So if I don't spend the speed ups too quickly, I can get the most of them out of them in the moments that I need them. So be patient with what you get as rewards. Also for like the recruitment tickets and stuff, you receive a lot of recruitment tickets with these boxes and with other events during the week, but I don't spend them until hero development day, right? Even though in the daily tasks you sometimes get 100 daily task points if you do 10 advanced recruitments, and I'm like, no, 10 advanced recruitments, that's 500,000 points on hero development day. I'm not gonna waste that on a daily task, like, no way. So use them when it's most wise to use them. Okay, so let's talk about the different Clash of Zone events and some tips on them. I think most of them are pretty straightforward and you probably already know, but okay, so Monday, Gathering Day. First of all, donate towards Alliance and get yourself a gather buff, like a speed up on the amount of gathering you get. So if you go to your Alliance, in your Alliance store, like there's this gather bonus, right? So just get one of those and you will get 50% speed increase on gathering for 24 hours. So super useful. Always get them for Gathering Day. Also, if your APC can gather for 21 hours, send them out 20 and a half hours before the Gathering Day starts, because then you have more time of gathering that will give you the points on Gathering Day itself, because you get the points when the gathering ends, right? So yeah, so start early. Keep in mind you get the points the moment your APC finishes gathering. So as soon as it starts marching back towards your base, you already get the points. Though you won't get the resources until your APC has reached your base. So be careful, don't send them back too early because you think you get the points when your APC arrives. You get them when they start moving back. So send them out early, but also be careful, because if the weekend is a kill event with another state, a state versus state event, you might get hit on the tile, right? So be careful, but I'd risk it. So Tuesday is pretty straightforward as well. Like I said, be patient. Try to match up your biggest building upgrades for Tuesday. Like today I'm like base 17 now, so I did the 3 training buildings, the Heroes Hall and the Garrison Hall, all level 17 upgrade, 2 level 17 upgrade at once. They all finished within the same hour. And you just start the 50% ticket right before they finish, and then you get lots and lots of points. I almost got like all the way to the 3rd box just by doing that. And you can start them like a couple of days before, right? So the point is you get the points when they finish and you are logged in. So start them the days before, calculate when you need to start them, and get the most out of them. Do keep in mind though, the trick that I showed you earlier with not getting the points until you're logged in, of course it works well, but you cannot activate a 50% of 100% ticket before if you do this. As soon as you're logged in, you have the points, so you have no chance of activating that ticket right before. So if you want to use the ticket, make sure you don't use the trick, but you actually have it finish when you're logged in and activate the ticket right before. Now, Wednesday, of course, is research day. Same as with the buildings and the gatherings. Start the research, like start a big research, like a couple of hours before the day starts. No matter how many hours you need before, start it early and have it finished on the day itself. Now, of course, the downside of research is that you can only do one at a time. So to optimize on the daily and to optimize the combination of the daily and the Clash of Zone event, you're probably going to need speed ups to get more points within 1 hour, or to optimize a 50% ticket or 100% ticket if you would use it. I just accept that I don't get too much points on a research day because you can only do one at a time, and I just don't waste my 50% or 100% ticket on this day. Also, overall, like the 50 and 100% ticket of increase of Clash of Zone events, those only work on the Clash of Zone event points. They will not also work for the daily event points. But I usually try to calculate before if I really need them. So either I don't use them because even if I would use them, I would still not get the box I want, or I would not use them because I can get the box without the ticket, right? Only if I really need the ticket to make it to the finish line of a certain box, then I use it. So I probably use it only 2 or 3 times a week, if I even have them. So Thursday is Hero Development Day, and there are a lot of ways to get points on Hero Development Day. Foremost, you get points for obtaining a Wisdom Medal. So exchanging hero medals for wisdom medals gains you a lot of points. Therefore, don't exchange too many of them on any other day than Thursday. I do exchange some because I usually have more hero medals than I can exchange in one day because of the limit of the building. So I do some before, usually the green medals, because they give the least wisdom medals per exchange. But save the big exchanges for Thursday. So that's like the first, right? The way to get points. Then another way to get points is to unlock any hero skill, which can be expensive and difficult once your heroes get bigger. But there's this neat trick. There's a really good video on YouTube that explains this. I'll link that in the description as well. But it took me a while to understand that video because the guy who's showing it is going really quickly, and he has a huge base and lots of heroes and lots of money and lots of wisdom medals, and I'm like, yeah, that's all good and fun, but I don't have that many, so what's your point? But I understand the point now. The thing is, you recruit these heroes, right? So when you recruit a new hero, it's just a level 1. Now the cheapest skill upgrade you can do is the first one, especially for the green heroes, because they are the cheapest. So the point of this trick is to get a newly recruited hero, go to the experience, spend some experience on them. I think you only need about maybe 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 to get it up to a level 6. Once it's a level 6, you can upgrade the first skill. You could go to 12 as well, because I think the second skill is not that expensive either, but I usually just do 6 because I get the points anyway. But, so the point is, just upgrade the hero to level 6. If you don't have the experience points, do what I did earlier, stick them on a big APC, send them out for one zombie, and they'll be 7 or 8 anyway. So, and then you go to their skills and you just click the first one and you say unlock, and as you can see, it's only 10 wisdom medals to unlock these. You get points for spending the, first you get points for gaining the wisdom medals, then for spending them, and then also for unlocking a skill. So that's like the most points you can get out of your wisdom medals. But then you have this hero at level 6 with the first unlocked skill, and you can only do it once, right? No, you can do it multiple times, because once you have done this, just confirm the split of the hero. You will get a medal for the hero, you will get some of the wisdom medals back, and you will get some of the money back. And then you don't have this hero anymore, so the next time you recruit it, it will be a level 1 again, and you can do this trick all over. So before you spend your recruitment tickets, go through your hero list and split any heroes you don't need, so that if you recruit them then, when you spend those recruitment tickets, it's a level 1 again and you can do this neat trick. So Friday is training troops day, which I think is pretty straightforward. Just keep training and training and training and training and training until you can train no more. Whenever you have an hourly that also allows you to train troops, I might do a couple more rounds with speed ups to get at least to the second box. And then once in the day, I try to do so many rounds and so many speed ups that I get to the third daily challenge box, and maybe also to the Clash of Zone event box. I'm not too happy with having too many troops. It sounds good, but they just eat up your food, and they can just be killed when you're attacked, right? So I don't really want too much of them. But they do generate a lot of points, so I think the fun part comes after. Once I have too many troops, I just send out my APCs against the biggest zombies I can find, get them all killed, and once they're killed, I just dismiss them and I don't really use them anymore because I have too many anyway. So, to dismiss them, if you have like any heroes in your hospital and you don't want it anymore, just go to click on the picture of the hero that you want to dismiss and just say how many you want to dismiss and go dismiss them. And then they're just gone. So you don't have to spend resources on healing them, they're just gone. So it's actually a fun way of killing your troops, to just use them to gain more resources against zombies. But yeah, that's what I do. So then Saturday and the kill event with state versus state, at least if you've passed like these first 4 weeks of qualifiers and stuff. So yeah, I've been staying out of them still because my base is just not strong enough to really do any damage. And I think my time is better spent focusing on growing and getting to at least base level 19, for example, so that I can do some damage. So I've been just shielding through these weekends and focusing on growing and saving up my diamonds, saving up my teleports, so that once I am big enough, I have plenty of jumps to go to the other state and attack them. Now, I think the main job of any base that is not big enough to fight is to make sure the other state does not get points from you and does not get resources from you. If you don't have the resources to shield, if you don't have the diamonds, or you just don't have enough alliance points to get it from an alliance store, there are some things you can do to prevent helping the other state. Either stay active and keep your resources below your depot protection. So if I go for example for lumber, you can see my depot protection is 1.7 million. So as long as I make sure that my resources stay below this level, the other state cannot get any resources from me, right? So that's one thing. If you are not able to do this, or you are not able to stay online and make sure these resources stay under these levels, you can also just cut the roads. If you cut the roads to the resource generation buildings, you will not generate more resources. And if you cut the roads to the storage buildings, you won't be able to store them. So that's what you can do in terms of resources, others not being able to get resources from you. But the kill event, the points, is also about killing troops. So to protect your troops, send your troops as reinforcements to those players who do have shields. So just send them out, put them under a shield of another player, and then they cannot be killed. I have seen players getting by these weekends fairly unscathed without giving the other state points. And not being attacked too much. They were passed over a couple of times, while other players who did not do this were attacked. So if you want a cheap way of getting through these weekends, if you cannot shield, this would be a way to do it. So let me give you one more example on how I plan these daily events and how to get the most boxes. So right now, I have 6 buildings being upgraded, but 3 of them I started around the same time, and they're level 16 bunks being upgraded to level 17. They will all finish in an hour and 10 minutes, and I have 11 minutes left on this hour. So if I check how much power these upgrades will give me, they will be 1098 minus 797, so that's the 301 points. So if you multiply that by 1000, it's 300,000 points. So these upgrades together, all 3 of them, will give me 900,000 points. Now if I check the daily from right now, I get points for building, I get points from technology, and I get points for every 1 minute of training speed up items that I use. And then if I check the schedule, I see we are now in the 6th hour. So you can see it's just like it said in the app, building, tech research, training speed ups, and for consuming energy core, that's what you get points for. That's this hour, and next hour we'll get points for building and tech research. Now, most of the box levels are the same each hour. The only real difference is when you have the combination of building and building speed ups, or tech research and tech research speed ups. So right now I get 80,000 for the first. I get the first box at 80,000 points, the second at 580, and the third at 3.98. But if it's an hour where the speed ups are combined with the building, so building and building speed ups, the first box start I think at 200,000. So it's way more expensive. So I avoid those hours. But next hour is building and tech research. So again, I will get the first box at 80,000, the second box at 580,000. So I could just let these run out. I might have to speed it up 1 minute to really get it in the hour that I need it. But that way I get 900,000 points and I only get 2 boxes. But I only need 2 of them to get to the second box, and I can speed up 1 of them to finish this hour. So I get an extra box. So I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm going to speed up 1 of these, I think. Well, maybe I'll actually speed up 2 of them, because I also have this level 16 water filter that will finish in a little less than 2 hours. So let's check how much points I get for those. 462 minus 336 is, let me think, that's I think 26. 126. Oh, my calculating from my head, and I'm terrible. Let's just check it. 336, 246. Just really quickly. Okay, so that's only 90. 346 minus 2. What was it again? I go back and forth between this stuff all the time. 462, 336. 462 minus 336. So 126 points, yeah. So I have 2 of those. So I could get 250 for them. With the 300, I'm at 550, so that's probably still not enough. But it is interesting. So, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. So anyway, what I can also do is, well, let's just speed up one of them anyway, because that I know I want to do. So let's just go and speed it up. 1 hour, 5 minutes. Well, I'm impatient. Let's just do 2 more minutes. So this one's going to be done right now. 300,000 points. Now, I know the other two will finish next hour. And they will also give me 2 boxes. But now I'm considering, can I do something to get the second box right now as well? Because I'm halfway there, right? So maybe I can do something more. I know a round of training will take 2 hours right now. So I can consider using some training speed ups and do a few rounds of training. But let me just calculate for that. So 580 minus 301. This is how much 1,000 points I need to get to the second box. And 1 minute of training speed up items is 400 points. So if I do it with training speed ups, I need to do 679.5 minutes of speed ups divided by 60. That's over 11 hours. So I don't really think it's worth it. It's just too many speed ups I need to use. And like, yeah, you do get diamonds and stuff, but you also get these speed ups from these boxes. So if you overspend them, you run out of them, even though I have plenty. But so I will get 5 hours, a little bit more in training speed ups. So I don't think I actually want to spend over 10 hours of speed ups just to get the second box. I can also check, because I also get points for research this hour, right? 400 for each technology power. So let's just see what I have running there. So yeah, also here I have something that's taking 10 hours to run. But then again, it's Wednesday, so it is research day, so it might not be that bad of an idea. If I speed it up, I can do more research today. So how much points will these give me? 924. So 924 times 400 points, 369. Well, it's a little bit over, but it's interesting. Yeah, I actually think I'm going to do this because, like, it's research day, right? So I need to cram as much research in there, and I have more than enough research speed up. So if there's any day to use them, it's this day, right? So I'm going to speed this up and finish this right now as well. 1 hour, 60. I need to use my speed ups more. I'm way too, I don't use them enough. I should use them more. But anyway, 1,000. Okay, I really need to do a lot of research speed ups today to really push to get to the research daily. So let's see, 5 more seconds. Boom, there it is. So second box on the daily, and I think I probably just reached the first box on the Clash of Zone event as well. Yeah, there it is. So I just got that one as well. So yeah, we just sped up one of the buildings to finish this hour, and we sped up the research that was running to finish this hour. And as I noticed that I have gained a lot of research speedups over the week. I didn't have this many last week. It's really from all the boxes that I opened that I got so many. So I'll probably look into the research that I need to do and how much I can do, how much it costs, if I will be able to reach the third box on the Clash of Zone events. Also with if I need to use the 50% ticket for that. But I will probably just try to plan out which hours I will get points for the research and at least get to the second box of the daily a couple of times today by using these research speed ups. And maybe I can even push it to the third box. That might be possible. So, but I need to do some calculating some research and checking out what's possible. So we're almost an hour later in the day, and in a few minutes the other 2 bunks will finish, like 3 minutes. And I learned something in this hour which I did not know either, and I was a bit surprised because I had this first construction vehicle free, right? And yesterday I had finished the garrison hall level 17, And when you have the garrison hall level 17, you also get these 3 war rooms to build. And I had asked around because in the beginning you don't know the power, and they said the first level would only be 1, so 1,000 points, I thought at least, because as far as I knew, that was my experience until now, that you just get the points for the initial build, the first level of power. So I thought it doesn't really matter when I build them, 3k is nothing, so let's just build them right now. Now I have a construction vehicle empty. So I built all 3 of them, and then after the 3rd finished, this event popped up with the number 1, and I was like, what's going on? And I got 993,000 points. As expected from the schedule, this hour, like we knew it would be technology power and building power, so that's all like we planned it. But where do these extra 90,000 points come from? I think that with some buildings, if you do the initial build, you apparently get a 30,000 extra points. I have no clue why. I've not seen it before. I hadn't noticed it before, so I'm not sure for which buildings you do get these and for which you don't. I'm pretty sure if you just build like a level 1 resource building that you will not get this. So I have to dive into it a little bit on when this actually happens. I am a bit bummed about it because if I would have known, I would have not done it in this hour, but I would have done it in another hour in which I had not planned any other upgrades, because then I would have gotten this first box in that hour. And now I'm just wasting it because I would have gotten these 2 boxes this hour anyway. But, so only a minute to go on this building upgrade. Like I told you when I told you about how to save power, you do not have the building, need to have the building connected to upgrade it. I'm showing you right here, the building is not connected to the road. It's not consuming any power, and you don't need to have it connected to finish the upgrade and get the points. So I'm just going to collect this first box right now and wait for a little bit, 20 more seconds. See, that was the first one. And the second one, and I just get the second box. So you don't need to have them connected while upgrading. So I'm now collecting the second box. And that's it. So one more thing you can do to optimize your daily rewards is if you are planning to speed up a building or a research a lot, like so let's say multiple hours, it's best to do that in an hour in which you get points for doing speed ups. So if you check the schedule, like for example, on Tuesday, right? The 3rd hour or the 11th hour or the 19th hour, you get points for using any speed ups. Now let's say you want to have a building finished in the hour after that, so at hour 4, 12 or 20, but you need to speed it up like 10 hours to do it. Do those 10 hours of speed ups in hour 3, 11 or 19, so you get points for using those speed ups, but then have it finish in hour 4, 12 or 20, so you also get points for finishing the building. Yes, okay, so let's wrap things up. I think I've shared all the tips that I have for you. I just wanted to show you how lucrative doing this is. So 2.5 days ago, I upgraded 5 big buildings, and it cost me about 7 million of each resource. So it was a pretty expensive upgrade. And the resources I had in stock had dropped way down to 4 or 5 million of each resource. So I'm not talking about the resources that you have in the storage buildings. I'm talking about the resources you have in stock. So the ones you have boxed up within your items. So these. They had dropped down to about 4 or 5 million of each resource. And since then, I have done some pretty expensive research, and I have done some expensive building upgrades as well. But even though I did those, and even though, as you can see, I have just started the upgrade of my level 18 base, which also cost 4 million of each type of resource, I still have replenished my resources, because at this point I have 14 million in food. 2 days ago this was 4. I have 13 million in fuel. I have 8 million in lumber. I have 6 million in iron, and I have 14 million in money. So I have more than enough resources that I replenished really quickly after spending a lot as well. And that was just by planning the daily events and the Clash of Zone events. I have not attacked anyone at all. So thanks for watching. I hope everybody has understood me well. English is not my first language, so I have probably said a lot of silly things. For that I am sorry. But I do hope this video has helped you and gave you lots of tips on how to play this game more efficiently and have more fun with it. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.